The Star Cat's Gift. In the heart of the Iron City, where the rain never seemed to stop, a small cat named Hoshi shivered beneath a damp crate. She was no ordinary cat. Her fur held the glint of distant constellations, and her paws left traces of glowing dust. But magic meant little when you were alone and hungry in the freezing dark. A shadow fell over the alley. An elderly man named Sato stopped, his boots splashing in the deep puddles. He held a rusted, leaking umbrella that barely kept him dry, but when he saw the shivering cat, he tilted it to cover her instead. "It's a rough night for a little one," he whispered with a voice like rustling leaves. Sato reached into his worn coat and pulled out a small crust of bread and half a sandwich, his only food for the day. Without hesitation, he broke off the softest pieces and placed them on a dry patch of ground for Hoshi. "Eat, little star," he said softly. "I have had my fill." As Hoshi ate, a strange warmth began to spread through her. It wasn't just the food. It was the kindness in Sato's eyes. She let out a soft purr that vibrated with a low, melodic hum. Suddenly, the freezing air around them grew mild and smelled faintly of jasmine and summer sun. That night, the temperature plummeted even further. Sato huddled in his makeshift home, a collection of cardboard boxes tucked against a cold brick wall. He shivered violently, his breath coming in white puffs. He had given his only blanket to Hoshi, who lay curled against his chest to keep him warm. Hoshi felt Sato's heart slowing in the winter chill. She knew she could no longer hide her gift. She stood up on his chest and let out a piercing, silver cry that echoed through the empty streets. The star mark on her chest blazed like a miniature sun, casting long, dancing shadows. Sato blinked his eyes open, expecting to feel the bite of the wind. Instead, he felt the warmth of a crackling hearth. He reached out and touched a wall, but it wasn't cardboard anymore. It was solid, polished oak. The tiny space had expanded into a beautiful hidden room right there in the alley. The cardboard cottage, as Sato called it, was a miracle. It was invisible to those with cold hearts, but to Sato and Hoshi, it was a sanctuary. There was a small stove that never ran out of wood, and a pantry that always held a fresh, warm loaf of bread. Sato realized the magic wasn't just for him. One evening, a young girl named May wandered into the alley, cold and lost. Sato didn't hesitate. He opened the heavy wooden door and invited her in for a bowl of Hoshi's star soup, which could heal any sadness and fill any stomach. Years passed, and the alley became a place of legends, a home for the forgotten, guarded by an old man and his shimmering cat. Sato was no longer a man with nothing. He was the keeper of the city's heart. And Hoshi, purring on his shoulder, knew she had finally found where she belonged.